And this one's amber, not yellow, because amber means elevated but not confirmed, which is where we actually are. So if you just leave Oh, we're rolling. Cut, or don't, I've got the whole wall labeled.
Nine of the most protected people in America went to Congress today and asked for $15 million because, and I'm quoting a sitting Supreme Court justice, the danger is, and I'm quoting, really high. A lifetime appointed judge just described her own safety like a 1-star Yelp review. We'll tell you what she meant.
Then, somebody paid $50 million for a dead dinosaur, and the catch is, nobody will ever be allowed to look at it. I have feelings, and none of them are legal.
And a kid nobody was watching robbed a hometown hero of his own party in his own house, and the crowd had to clap for the guy who ruined their night.
I'm Sloan. That's Kiki. Garage and weather desk are staffed. Tuesday the 14th. This is Broadcast 404 Live. Roll it.
This program contains strong language, adult themes, and satire. And the phrase, threat level, which I want to flag means somebody looked at a real danger, measured it, and then gave you a color instead of a plan. Viewer discretion is a color too. Proceed anyway.
So, a Supreme Court justice testified before Congress today that the danger to the justices is, quote, really high. That's the line. That's the whole diagnosis. Really high. That's not a federal judiciary. That's a group of adults walking into a haunted house going, I don't love the energy in here.
Sweetie, if my threat level were high, I would not announce it to a room. I'd handle it quietly, at home, and nobody would ever find the...
And we're going to leave that exactly where it is. Okay, plainly. Justice Amy Coney Barrett and several colleagues went before a congressional committee today to testify about the court's budget, and they asked for an extra $15 million specifically for security. Their reason? Threats against justices have genuinely spiked. That part is real. So they want $15 million for protection. That's the story. And I want to be fair. The threats are real, and nobody should have to work under that. But here's what I keep snagging on. This is the only branch that answers to no one, serves for life, and cannot be fired. And the safest people in the country came to the least safe people in the country. That's us. We're the ones with the threat level. And asked us to fund their peace of mind.
15 mil for 9 people? I've seen a defensive tackle with 2 paternity suits and a boat repossession get less protection than that, and his threat level is a woman named Deb.
And here's the part I can't make polite. They said, the threat level is really high. And they're right. But they will not say the quiet half of the sentence, which is why it got high. Rulings land on real people. People get furious. That's the cost of the power. They want $15 million to build a hallway between the ruling and the guy the ruling happened to. That's the whole ask. And honestly, you'd want it too. Every one of us would take the money and the walls, and we'd tell ourselves the threats made us do it. 9 people want $15 million to feel safe. Aubrey Jo has a whole sport built on strangers who are furious with each other on purpose. Go be that.
Oh, I got furious strangers, Sloan. I got a doctor who might be the wrong kind of doctor, and a kid who outran a stadium's whole security team.
The garage is yours.
Okay, this one's unverified. Take it however the hell you want. But the head of Senegal's Football Federation announced their national team doctor, the guy they've trusted for 10 years, is a gynecologist. Not a sports doctor, a gynecologist. 10 goddamn years. This man has been staring at a torn ACL for a decade going, okay, and when was your last period? And there was a kid pitch invader at an Aussie rules game, and this little bastard outran security, every single one of them. Grown men in polos, red in the face. One of them straight up sat down on the grass and gave up like it was a decision he'd made peace with. Hold on, ESPN alert. Man United reportedly signed Yuri Tielemans. Details pending. Cool, great. Love that for Yuri. Anyway, where was I? Right, the kid. Nobody could catch him. And that is the Senegal doctor's job now. Send his ass in. Have him look at the kid. It's not his area, but he can measure something. Local, behind the dead Sears at the Ridgemont Mall food court. Inaugural rolling office chair joust. 2 office chairs, a mop handle each. Shove off from the Cinnabon and ran the other guy before you hit the fountain. Derek entered. Margaret did not. And here's the shit of it. Nobody told Derek. He's out there in a neck brace, still healing from the cart thing, sitting alone in a rolling chair with a mop handle, ready to joust. And a kid, some teenager named Braylen, just wins the whole fucking thing. Beats 4 strangers. Nobody says Margaret's name once. Derek watched the entire thing from his truck in the parking lot. Didn't even get out. Sport went on without her, and it felt wrong. God help his braced up ass.
10 years, a gynecologist. Nobody checked. Same as the justices. Nobody ever asks the guy in the scrubs to prove it.
Oh, but sweetie, he showed up for 10 years. That's more than most specialists. I'd let that man deliver my hamstring.
Kiki, you do not want that man's hands anywhere south of your knee, I promise you. And honestly, some kid named Braylen just won a sport in a food court and it felt like a funeral, so nobody's credential is safe today.
Okay, speaking of nobody knowing who's on the other end of the phone, a Tyrannosaurus Rex named Gus, 67 million years old, one of the biggest and most complete ever dug up, sold at Sotheby's today for $50 million to a bidder on the phone. Anonymous. God.
So a real dinosaur that scientists were begging to study just vanished into a stranger's living room. And the actual news story is that no researcher will ever be allowed near it again.
$50 million for a dead lizard you're not even gonna let a nerd look at? That's not a fossil. That's the world's most expensive coat rack.
And sweetie, here's my favorite part. Gus's head is too heavy to attach to Gus. It's been sitting in the lobby by itself. So somebody paid $50 million for a dinosaur that comes in 2 boxes. 67 million years. Survived a meteor. And he ends up in a foyer next to a guy's umbrella stand. Live your life, little king. Blaze, what's the sky doing?
Hey, picture a guy in Boston tonight, dragging his trash can up the driveway. 88 degrees, and the wind rips the lid clean out of his hand at 79 miles an hour. That's damaging wind speed. Summer night, clear sky, no storm anywhere near him. Meanwhile, a woman in Tupelo can't see her own porch. 79 degrees, fog, 89% humidity. And Holstead's fountain downtown is still bone dry, and the city still won't say when they fill it. And I owe you last night. I went back to the county counter. I asked the clerk which of the 2 dashes she wrote first. She said she never wrote either one, so there are 2 custody marks on that form, and the one person allowed to make them made neither. Which brings me to the thing I've been sitting on. There's leaked police drone footage going around. Regular streets, regular people, a camera nobody voted for, logging where everyone went. Same shape as my form. A record gets made, and nobody will put their name on the hand that made it. Forecast: 80-mile wind attached to nothing in Boston, and 2 dashes on a page nobody admits to writing. Subscribe. The count is the one number I can watch a hand fail to erase. Back to you.
She said she wrote neither dash. You've been chasing a name for a week, and the answer is nobody. You all right? You've been somewhere all night.
I'm fine. I wanted a hand. I got 2 marks and a woman shrugging. March 11th, though. That's the date on it. I keep landing back on the date.
Sweetie, come sit. A date is just a day that already happened to somebody. And you'll find them, you always do. Let the form breathe without you standing over it.
Backtracking, this week in history. And I picked 2 that happened 3 days apart, 10 years apart. And they don't sit right next to each other. July 14th, 2015. NASA's New Horizons probe flew past Pluto. First time anyone had ever seen it up close. We'd now photographed every major body in the solar system, 9 years and 1 billion miles just to get one clear picture of the thing. And here's what gets me. That same week, July 17th, 2014, Malaysia Airlines 17 was shot down over eastern Ukraine. 298 people. We had that on camera in an afternoon. We built a machine to see something 4 billion miles away in the dark. And a plane full of people over a field, we still argue about who did it. One of those got a clear picture. The other one got a custody fight. Pluto's easy. Nobody's hand is on it. Nobody has to sign the Pluto photo. It's the ones with a hand on them that stay blurry. That's backtracking.
Mailbag. And tonight, it's a real letter from the Ridgemont Mall property office. They want everyone to know the Dead Sears food court is not a sanctioned event space, and the fountain is not a finish line.
Sanctioned? A kid named Braylen won a chair joust in there today. It's the most alive that mall's been in a decade, and they're mad about the fountain.
They're protecting a fountain that's been off since the Obama administration. Same energy as 9 lifetime judges billing the country for a nap.
Anyway, sweethearts, you at home, drop a comment on any video. I read every last one, and one of these nights it's your name
Oh, right on schedule.
Hi, yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Okay, so the Supreme Court wants $15 million for security. My question is, do I get any of that? Because there's a guy at my gym who racks 400 pounds and just leaves it there. Every day. I feel unsafe.
Oh, honey, you don't need 15 million. You just need to say something to him warmly once.
See, I can't do that. He's enormous. That's why it's a threat level.
I'm gonna go rack 400 pounds and leave it there just to feel powerful.
You can't unrack the bar with the sticky window truck.
The window's a separate crisis, Sloan. Do not put them in the same sentence.
Sweethearts, I have a casserole in my fridge with a lid on it that I made this morning for absolutely no reason. Somebody out there is gonna need it. I already know it. I just don't know your name yet. Sleep tight.
The clerk who signs those forms was on shift March 11th. Tomorrow I find out whose day off it was. On this desk. Night.
If any of you are near the Ridgemont food court tomorrow, tell Braylen the chair joust chant that a woman on TV believes in him. That's it. That's my whole ask. Not you gorgeous idiots.
9 people with lifetime jobs and armed guards told a room they don't feel safe. And the room said, here's 15 million. Subscribe and like it. I'm told it funds a crossword habit. And frankly, the crossword is the only branch of government that's ever answered to me. Good night.
I moved my grandfather's weather logs to the shelf above my desk this morning. 2 years in a box on the floor. I still haven't opened them, marked 11's in there somewhere. 1960-something. I want to check it, and I'm scared it's blank. Night.